Hello friends, today we are going to do the chapter The Malgudi Cricket Club. A group of enthusiastic schoolboys in the idyllic little town of Malgudi in British Indian plan to start their own cricket club. After making his exit from Albert Mission School in a theatrical manner on the day following the strike, Swaminathan became so consistently stubborn that a few days later his father took him to the board school and admitted him there. At first, Swaminathan was rather uncertain of his happiness in the new school, but he excited the curiosity that all newcomers do, and found himself to his great satisfaction the center of attraction in second C. All his new classmates, remarkably new faces, often clustered round him to see him and hear him talk. He had not yet picked the few that he would have liked to call his chums. He still believed that his Albert Mission set was intact, though since the reopening in June, the set was not what it had been before. Only Rajam and Mani were still intact as far as Swaminathan was concerned. Mani saw him every day, but Rajam had not spoken to him since the day his political doings became known. And now this afternoon, Swaminathan was sitting in a dark corner of the house, trying to make a camera with a cardboard box and a spectacle lens. In his effort to fix the lens in the hole that was one round too large, he was on the point of losing his temper when he heard a familiar voice calling him. He ran to the door. "Hello, hello, Rajam," he cried. "Why didn't you tell me you were coming? What is the thing in your hand?" Rajam asked. "Oh, it is nothing," Swaminathan said, giving him the box. Rajam said while gazing at the world through the hole in the cardboard box that he was prepared to forgive Swaminathan for his past sins and would not mind his belonging to the board school. They were to be friends as of old. "What would you say to a cricket team?" Rajam asked. "No, Rajam, I don't think I can play. I don't know how to play. That is why everybody thinks," said Rajam. "I don't know how myself, though I collect pictures and scores." This was very pleasing to hear. Probably Hobbs, too, was shy and skeptical before he took the bat and swung it. "We can challenge a lot of teams, including our school 11. They think they can't be beaten," said Swaminathan. "What? The board school mugs think that? We shall thrash them." "Oh, yes. What shall we call it?" "Don't you know? It is the MCC," said Rajam. "That is Hobbs' team, isn't it? They may drag us before a court if we take their name." "Who says that? If we get into any trouble, trouble, I shall declare before the judge that MCC stands for Malgudi Cricket Club. Swaminathan was a little disappointed, though as MCC it sounded imposing. The name was really a bit tame. I think we had better try some other name. Rajam, what would you suggest? Well, I am for Friends 11. Friends 11? Or say Jumping Stars, said Swaminathan. Oh, that is not bad. Not bad, you know. I do think it would be glorious to call ourselves Jumping Stars. Rajam instantly had a vision of a newspaper report. The Jumping Stars soundly thrashed the Bodh High School 11. It is a beauty, I think, he cried, moved by the vision. He pulled out a piece of paper and a pencil and said, "Come on, Swami, decide the names that come to your head. It would be better to have a long list to select from. We shall underline Jumping Stars and MCC and give them special consideration. Come on." Swaminathan remained thoughtful and started Friends 11, Jumping Stars, Friends Union. "I have Friends Union here already," Rajam said, pointing to the list. Swaminathan went on. "Ecclesiors, I have got it. Ecclesia Union, Champion 11, a long pose." "Are you dried up?" Rajam asked. "No, if money were here, he would have suggested a few more names." "Champion 11? You have just said it. Victory Union 11. That is very good. I think it is very, very good. People would be afraid of us." He held the list before him and read the names with great satisfaction. He had struggled hard on the previous night to get a few names, but only Friends Union and Ecclesiors kept coming till he felt fatigued. But what a lot of names Swaminathan was able to reel off. "Can you meet me tomorrow evening, Swami? I shall get money down. Let us select a name." After a while, Swaminathan asked, "Look here, do you think we shall have to pay tax or something to the government when we start the team? The government seems to tax everything in this world. My father's pay is about 500, but nearly 200 and over is demanded by the government. Anyway, what makes you think that we shall have to pay tax? I mean, if we don't pay tax, the government may not recognize our team or its name, and 100 other teams may take the same name. It might lead to all sorts of complications. Suppose we have 2 names," asked Rajam. "It's not done. I knew a lot of teams that have 2 names. When I was in Bishop Wallers, we had a cricket team that we called. I don't remember the name now. I think we called it Cricket 11 and Wallers Cricket 11. You see, one name is for ordinary use and the other is for matches." rich team like your Wallers. But suppose the government demand 2 taxes from us. Rajam realized at this point that the starting of a cricket team was the most complicated problem on earth. He had simply expected to gather a dozen fellows on the meadow next to his compound and play and challenge the world. But here were endless troubles, starting with the name that must be unique, government taxes, and so on. They sat around Rajam's table in his room. Money held before him in a catalogue of Messrs. Benz, the shop of sports goods. He read Junior Willard bats, 7-8, made of finest seasoned wood, used by Cambridge Junior Boys 11. "Let me have a look at it," said Rajam. He bent over the table and said, "Seems to be a fine bat. Have a look at it, Swami." Swaminathan craned his neck and agreed that it was a fine bat, but he was indiscreet enough to say it looks like any other bat in the catalogue. Money's left hand shot out and held his neck and pressed his face close to the picture of the bat. "Why do you pretend to be a cricket player if you cannot see the difference between Junior Willard and other bats? You are not fit to be even a sweeper in our team." After this admonition, the hold was relaxed. There was a pause, and after that Rajam said, "Note it down, Swami." Swaminathan noted down on the paper, "Willard June Ear Bat," and looking up asked, "How many?" "Say 3. "Will that do, Money?" "Why waste money on 3 bats?" "2 will do. But suppose one breaks in the middle of a match?" Rajam asked. "Do you suppose we are going to supply bats to our opponents? They will have to come provided with bats. We must make it clear. Even then, if our bat breaks, we may have to stop playing." "2 will do, Rajam, unless you want to waste money." Rajam's enthusiasm was great. He left his chair and sat on the arm of Money's chair, gloating over the pictures of cricket goods in catalogue. Swaminathan thought he was considered to be a bit of a heretic, caught the enthusiasm and perched on the other arm of the chair. All the 3 devoured with their eyes the glossy pictures of cricket balls, bats, and nests. In about an hour they selected from the catalogue their team's requirements, and then came the most difficult part of the whole affair, a letter to Messrs. Benz, ordering goods, where courtesy made Rajam offer the authorship of the letter to Money, who declined it. Rajam took up the task himself. Half an hour later, he placed on the table a letter from MCC and Victory Union 11, Malgudi, to Messrs. Benz, Sportsmen, Mount Road, Madras. "Dear Sir, please send to our team 2 Junior Willard bats, 6 balls, wickets, and other things quick. It is very urgent. We shall send you money afterwards." Don't fear. Please be urgent. Yours obediently, Captain Rajam. Captain. This letter received Swaminathan's benedictions, but Mani expressed certain doubts. He wanted to know whether deer could stand at the beginning of a letter to a perfect stranger. How can you call Vince dear, sir? You must say sir. Rajam's explanation was, I won't say so. It is said only by clerks. I am not Vince's clerk. I don't care to address him as sir. So this letter went as it was. Friends, this interesting story is written by R.K. Narayan. Thank you, friends. Bye bye.